I want to thank every pony for coming and assisting the Jubilee Cherry Ranch intended to our cherry orchard. You will receive your pay as you exit through the main gate. If you plan to return for work tomorrow, we will see you all bright and early tomorrow morning. Again, thank you all for your help.
Apollo, is it me, or did that seem like a very short workday? To be honest, I don't remember the last time I got to properly enjoy the sunset on a day like this. I usually find myself scrounging for a few last pigs before dusk. Time is money, after all.
Morrow, be thankful that we are ending now.
Why do you say that?
Haven't you heard the stories of the strange things that have been happening around here? Like the farm hooves who go missing on their way home after dark?
Please don't tell me you believe in those stories. If they were true, then more ponies would have gone missing by now. It's just some lucky farm hooves finding better work elsewhere. Probably better pay as well. Nothing more.
I'm telling you, something odd is happening around these parts. If I was you, I'd get home shortly after you get your bits in your hooves. You don't want to be caught walking around here by yourself after sunset.
Whatever you say, I got my pay and I'm heading to Dodge City to help myself to some cider and a little taste of the big city life. Why don't you come join me?
Thanks, but no thanks. If it's all the same to you, I'm just gonna head on home.
Suit yourself. I'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Just remember what I said. Stay safe.
Yeah, right. Stupid hayseed. My business associate will pay many bits to have cherries of this quality. It was such a simple plan too, and no pony is over the wiser. Well, I'm here in Dodge City, and I didn't get spirited away. Ah, here is where I am supposed to meet my benefactor. Now where? Ah, yes, there. Nice booth. Very private, in fact.
Discretion is important in my business. I trust you have what I came for.
You bet I do.
May I see it, please?
I suppose.
Good quality. I will take them off your hooves. At the agreed price, of course.
It was a pleasure doing business with you. Ah, it's always a pleasure heading into that sunset after some cider and a few more bits in my saddlebag. That pony paid $12 for those cherries. Strange though. I should have seen some pony by now. Oh well, still, you can't beat that sunset. Dust flow from the evening wind giving off an orange glow emanating from the setting sun, almost as if it is heading in my direction? Nah, I must be imagining things. Wait, it is coming in my direction. Is it a dust cloud? And is that the sound of cattle? My stars, there's no dust cloud. Past Celestia, what is that?
Morrow will join us.
What? Who on Equestria are you?
Your sins have been revealed to us, and you will join us to catch him. Hades heard.
No, I'm warning you. Stay back. Stay back, I said. No!
Hey, Clover.
Rosebud, hi, how have you been?
Fine, I guess. Say, do you have a minute to talk?
Sure, what's on your mind?
Well, I hope I didn't upset you too badly the last time I was here. You know, about your friend that you haven't seen for a while?
It's alright, Rosebud. I know you didn't mean it.
Well, I felt a little bad about it, and I wanted to make sure you're okay. You are my best friend, after all, and I wanted you to know that I'll always have your back.
Isn't that why we're best friends? We tease each other, we forgive each other, and then we move on.
Yeah, that's true. So, how are things going with you and Stellar Eclipse?
Rosebud!
Hey, BFFs always have each other's backs in life and in love, right?
Well, to be honest, nothing has really happened. I'm not really sure how he feels about me. At all.
Life is short, Clover. Love while you can. And if that just happens to mean you're taking some initiative and making the first move on a stallion every now and then.
But what if he says no? You know I'm not good with rejections.
Clover, don't be such a shut-in. Haven't you ever wondered what life would be like behind those puffy pink pastry doors? Or that field of clovers that you like to grow? Or what it might feel like to take that leap of faith and put your neck on the line for some pony?
A lot more than you can imagine. Believe me.
What was that?
Nothing.
Anyway, Clover, all I'm saying is...
Ah, there you are, Clover. I was just wondering. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't realize you were in the middle of something. I could just come back later if you'd like.
No, your timing couldn't have been more perfect.
Clover, don't you dare change the subject just because your friend came prancing into the picture.
Rosebud, this is my friend that I was telling you about the other day. The one that I haven't seen in over 3 weeks.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you, Mr.
Kronos! He's my cousin.
Ah, yes, I'm Kronos. It's a pleasure to meet you, miss.
Rosebud. And you're her cousin? That's funny. I've never heard Clover mention you before.
Oh, well, there's a very logical explanation for that. You see, we're distant cousins. Very long distant cousins. Half cousins on the father and nephew sister side. In fact, we are more like good friends than cousins, really.
Yes, really, really good friends.
I see. Now, Clover...
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Clover, but I don't suppose you would happen to have any chocolate-covered cherries, would you?
Why, yes. Yes, we do. Sorry, Rosebud, I hate to cut this short, but I have to get back to work. You know how it is.
Yeah, sure, but this discussion is not over yet, Clover. And it was nice to meet you. Kronos, was it?
A pleasure. Now, Clover, about those chocolate-covered cherries.
What, you were serious?
Why wouldn't I be? Besides, it makes an excellent treat on the side, and it helped to remove your friend. I've known a few characters like her in my lifetimes, and they can only be trouble, and your little friend, Rosebud, definitely fits the bill.
Sorry to disappoint you, Doctor, but we don't have any chocolate-covered cherries. They're out of season right now.
Oh, that's a shame, and I was looking forward to having some. If only there was some time or place we can find them where there might be in season.
I know. It's a shame. Really. Wait a minute. Are you making fun of me?
Oh, no, not at all. Well, maybe a little. But we can find some.
And by that, of course, you mean when we can find some?
Well, yes, I thought by now you know that's implied.
Gee, thanks. Well, Dodge City is the largest cherry supplier around here, and they start sending out their shipments in May.
So if we go back, say, 8 months, will that be a good time?
Well, I suppose that's one way to get them in season. Or we could just go forward in time a couple of months.
Well, of course we could always do that, but the cherries from the last harvest were so much better than the ones from the new harvest were.
I guess you would know. But hey, while we're there, can we go to the Equestria Rodeo Competition in Canterlot? I always wanted to see that. But for some reason, they're not having one this year.
So, when do you want to leave?
I can close up in 20 minutes.
I'll meet you at the TARDIS then, usual place.
Yay, I can't wait!
Here we are, Clover. Canterlot?
Doctor, this is Dodge City.
Well, so it is. Well, that can be easily corrected, but while we're here, we might as well get some of those chocolate-covered cherries you promised me.
Doctor? Did you do that on purpose, or did you miss the mark? Again.
Clover, I'm offended you would think such a thing about me.
Am I wrong?
Oh, look! There's a store selling some chocolate-covered cherries just over there.
Yep, he missed the mark alright.
Dodge City Pastries and Confectionaries. Excellent.
Not a very clever name if you ask me.
Well, they all can't beat the Strawberry Sweet Stop now, can they? And yet, they are the ones that have the chocolate-covered cherries.
Well, howdy, partner. Welcome to Dodge City Pastries and Confectionery. How can I help you today?
Yes, we would like some of your finest chocolate-covered cherries, please, in one of those cute little to-go buckets you have on display over there.
Well, you've come to the right place. We do have a wide variety of cherries covered in chocolate.
Yes, you do, and they look very appetizing.
Okay, but why are they so expensive?
Well, these are top quality cherries.
But 15 bits?
Unfortunately, there is a bit of a shortage of cherries in these here parts.
How can the one place that supplies the majority of cherries in Equestria have a shortage of cherries?
But really, 15 bits isn't so expensive for a few chocolate-covered cherries, is it?
It is when you're paying 15 bits per cherry.
Wait, what? 15 bits each?
It's only 7 apiece if you get the ones that aren't smothered in chocolate goodness.
I thought that would be for a dozen. A half a dozen. I'd even settle for a quarter a dozen, and that's pushing it. But 15 bits for one cherry?
Look, pal, it's called supply and demand. The low supply and sparse deliveries have caused the prices to skyrocket. It's nothing personal, but I have 3 foals waiting for me at home, and some pony has to be able to put food on the table at the end of the day.
Is that really all there is to it then?
Well, alright, you didn't hear from me, but I've heard about some strange going-ons at that Jubilee Cheerio Ranch just outside of town that has got every pony spooked. Farm hooves mysteriously going missing after hours. That kind of talk will cause quite a stir around these parts. News has it that the farm hooves at Cheerio Ranch are doing everything they can just to keep themselves from going under.
I see. Very interesting. Tragic, really. Well, thank you for your time, ma'am. But 15 bits is a bit steep for this pony.
What? Well, we'll be right here if you change your mind.
Not until this situation is resolved, I'm afraid.
Doctor, what is it?
Something doesn't feel right about this. A simple natural resource like cherries suddenly in high demand, chocolate-covered cherries at 15 bits apiece? If that's not a crime already, then it certainly should be.
Cherry shortages aren't exactly a crime, Doctor. And if you want them cheaper, why don't you just pop ahead a year and buy some then? And anyway, shouldn't you be more concerned about the ponies that have gone missing around here?
Oh, well, they probably just left town to find better work in the big city. If I've learned anything in my years, it's that you must always trust the chocolate, and the chocolate is saying that something strange is going on here.
Doctor.
Look, if it's nothing, then fine. We'll just get our cherries, go to the equestrian competition in Controlot, and be back before closing time. But if it's something...
Then you're going to investigate, and you're going to make me come with you, aren't you?
Well, you can always stay behind with the Tartars and your outrageously expensive cherries. Don't expect me to hoof the bill for you.
Alright, fine, but you're going to owe me big for this, Doctor.
Now, that's what I like to see, Clover, a good old-fashioned sense of adventure.
So what's our first move?
We go to the Jubilee Cherry Ranch. If I'm not mistaken, it's on the outside of town, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. And with chocolate-covered goodies on the line, there is no time to waste.
Why do I suddenly have a bad feeling about this?
The Jubilee Cherry Ranch. Excellent.
Doctor, why do we have to walk here? Can't we have just taken the TARDIS?
And miss all this majestic scenery we got to enjoy along the way. Besides, it never hurts to make ourselves familiar with our surroundings. You never know when it might come in handy.
What does that mean?
I think it's about time we found out what's going on around these here parts. Those ponies over there look like a good place as any to start.
Now I know I have a bad feeling about this.
Excuse me, good sir, but I am the doctor, and this fine pony here is my companion, Clover. I heard there may be some problems around here, and we'd like to know if there's anything we can do to help.
The name's Buck. Buck Jubilee, and this here is my sister Annabella. You say you're a doctor? Lucky us. One of our farmhoods had a bit of a mishap, and we sure could use some help in the medical department. As for your companion, can she buck cherries?
Oh, the best cherry bucker there is.
What?
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, Annabella, take little Clover over here to the fields, and let's see what she can do.
Well, she does look a bit scrawny to me. But we're so desperate for help, I suppose scrawny'll just have to do.
What do you mean by scrawny?
Oh, don't let her slight frame fool you. She can buck with the best of them, I can assure you.
Well, okay then. Follow me, Clover, and we'll see what you're made of.
I'll show you, scrawny.
Excellent. Now that that's taken care of, take me to the patient.
So, Annabella, how much further is it to the cherry orchard exactly?
Not much further, I'd say. Tired already, are you?
Oh no, of course not. I was just curious, that's all.
Well, either way, you don't have to worry about that much longer, because here it is.
This is your cherry orchard?
Sure is.
This is amazing! Your orchard is so beautiful! How many different types of cherries do you grow out here?
Last time I checked, we had at least 7.
And from what I can see, your orchard is full of cherries still. But the pony at the shop told us that there was a shortage.
Well, unfortunately, the problem we face here is a shortage of help getting the cherries packed and prepped to ship to the markets. Almost every farm hoof we've had is now too scared to come to work in the morning.
In a place like this, what's there to be scared about?
Well, that's just it. We don't know what they're scared of, and the rumors about it just don't make any sense at all.
But what have you been hearing exactly?
Tell you what, let's see if you can buck this tree over here, then we can talk some more. Deal?
Deal.
Now let me go get you a basket so you can get started.
What was I thinking? I've seen other ponies buck trees before and I've never done it myself. I'm doomed. No. Calm down, Clover. That is not the right attitude. I just have to use what I have and make this work. I could try and cast a simple levitation spell that Miss Sakura taught me.
Here you are, Sugar Pie. Now let's see what you can do.
Okay. Here it goes. Ha! Ha! Ha!
Are you sure you can do this, honey?
No problem. It just takes a little time for me to get warmed up.
Well, don't take too much longer now. It's only so many hours in the day, you know.
Hey, give me a chance. Okay, Clover, just focus. Ha!
Well, I declare, you did it. I guess good things do come in small packages.
Yeah. Now you're about to tell me what's been scaring off the farm hooves?
Oh, I did promise that, didn't I? Well, it appears that the farm hooves are frightened by the ghost riders.
Ghost riders? Seriously?
I know, silly, isn't it? I don't believe in that sort of thing myself, but whatever it is, it's enough to keep us from getting the help we need around here. I don't know what we're gonna do. Oh, we do have some farm hooves brave enough to stick around, of course. But it's still not enough to make much of a difference.
That's awful.
Well, enough chatting. You buck those trees over there in this area, and I'll work in that area over there. Once you filled the baskets, just put it in the cart over there. And I'll be back to check on you later.
Oh, you're going to owe me a lot more than a few chocolate-covered cherries after this, Doctor.
So, Mr. Buck, what can you tell me about the strange things happening in this area around here?
You believe that, cow pie? They're just stories, Doctor. Nothing more.
Really? That certainly doesn't explain the shortage of cherries in the area, and while we're on the subject, I don't see why the chocolate has to suffer the consequences for it either.
And I don't see what chocolate has to do with all this. But the problem isn't a shortage of cherries, Doctor.
Then what is the problem exactly?
I'll tell you what the problem is. Campfire ghost stories and superstitious folklore, that's what. Isn't this the new help book? Not that I'm complaining. He's much better looking than the last few you roped into helping us.
Why, yes, ma'am. This is Doctor. What was it now?
It's just the doctor. And you are?
Why, Cherry Jubilee, owner of the Cherrio Ranch Estate. And I can assure you, Doctor, the privilege is all mine. I do admire a good stallion of learning, such as yourself. Now, Buck, you don't have to waste all your time showing the doctor around here. I'm sure you have some other work that needs to get done. I can take the doctor to the patient.
Yes, ma'am. See you later, Doc.
Buck is a bit of a stiff, but he makes for a fine four-pony. I don't know what I'd do without him to keep things going on around the ranch. Now, what did you say you specialized in, Doctor?
Oh, I'm knowledgeable in history, psychology, physics, and fabrication. I also dabble in the art of confectionaries, just to keep things interesting.
Oh my, a pony of great knowledge. I find that even more appealing.
Yes. Now, about that patient.
Oh, yes. If you'll just follow me.
Now, about those ghost stories you spoke of earlier, has any pony around here actually seen one of these creatures?
Really, Doctor? A pony of your learning must realize that such things are not possible. Well, here's the patient. Apollo, this is the doctor. He's here to look after you.
Miss Jubilee? Ouch.
Now let's take a look, shall we? Looks like a number of sprains, multiple contusions, a cracked rib, hairline fracture. You've had quite a number done on you, my friend.
Wish I could have gotten a good look at the ponies that did this to me. Yellow-bellied cowards, what kind of a pony attacked another pony while its back is turned? Why, if I had any strength left in me,
It would be better if you saved your strength, Apollo. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. Now, Miss Jubilee, would you be so kind as to get me the items on this list? I will need to mix a tonic to help ease his pain and speed his recovery.
This might take me a while to get you all the things on this list.
Take your time, Miss Jubilee. I'm going to ask Apollo a few more questions while you're doing that.
Alright then, I'll be back as soon as I can. Of course, if you find yourself missing me before I get back, I'm sure you'll know just where to find me.
Yes, well, thank you for your help, Miss Jubilee. I can't tell you how much this means to me.
Please, Doctor, call me Cherry.
Oh, yes. Now, Apollo, can you tell me exactly what happened to you?
Well, I was minding my own business on my way home just the other day, when all of a sudden I was attacked by a group of ponies.
No, I mean tell me what really happened to you.
I don't know what you mean, Doctor.
Any doctor worth his salt can tell you that your injuries are not consistent with the kind of beating you described, which I'm guessing is why you insisted that you were not taken to the hospital immediately after the incident. Either that, or you are a ridiculously stubborn pony.
I assure you, I was attacked.
Was it the Ghost Riders?
The what?
Apollo, you have to trust me. I promise that I will help you, but before I can do that, I need to know exactly what we're dealing with here. Tell me everything you saw, heard, smelled, touched, and tasted that night that you were attacked. Anything you can remember. Don't leave out any detail.
Doctor, you must know that I was trying to help him.
Who, Apollo? Who were you trying to help?
Okay. The truth is, about a week ago, I found out that another farm hoof, Morrow, was taking advantage of the ranch, selling cherries on the side to some shady pony he met in the city. I figured if he continued, he would eventually get caught. I warned him about the ghost riders that had been appearing around here at dusk. I told him not to be caught out late after hours, but he wouldn't listen. I just couldn't sit around here and do nothing, so I followed him. When he reached the outskirts of the town, that's when I saw them coming. I galloped as fast as I could to help him and got caught up in the attack. The riders took him away, and there was nothing I could do to stop them, and now he's gone, and it's all my fault. Doctor, you won't tell Miss Jubilee about this, will you?
I made a promise to you, Apollo, and I intend to keep it, provided that you let yourself get the rest you need to recover from this ordeal. And Apollo, just so that you know, none of this was your fault. You did everything you could. You risked your life to save your friend, and that says a lot about your character. I would say that you've more than earned some time off of good behavior, wouldn't you?
Doctor, I brought all the items you requested.
Ah, perfect. Just what I needed to prepare the tonic. There we are. He should rest more soundly now. I was able to bandage his midsection, so his ribs should heal more properly now. Just make sure he uses the prescribed amount for the next few days, Miss Cherry, and he should be just fine.
Oh, please, just Cherry, Doctor. And thank you for all your help.
Apologies for the interruption, Miss Jubilee, but we're done for the day, and we sent all the farmers home. Or what little we had of them, at least.
And I have to admit that Clover over here was a big help. Give her enough time, and she'll be able to buck cherries without using any magic at all.
What? You know all this time you didn't say anything?
You had a chance to use magic, and you're still complaining?
Help is help, and I'm not all too concerned with how we get it, even if it is with magic.
Excellent. Now, Miss Jubilee, Cherry, as an appointed member of the EUP, Earth Unicorn, and Pegasus Patrol, my credentials will verify my position. With the upcoming Equestrian Rodeo Competition, it's part of my charge to assure that there will be safe passage to Canterlot. My companion and I would like to see the area where Apollo was attacked to see if there's any clues that we could find to help us track down the attackers.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. And if that's the case, I can take you there myself.
Excellent. All right, Clover. Let's get going then, shall we?
I still can't believe that I had to book cherries for over half a day while you were making a house call. I'm sore all over now thanks to you.
I'm sorry I had to go through all that, but I couldn't just ignore a patient needing my help, and besides, I needed to know if you could find anything from the other farmhouse from around here.
And I guess flirting with Miss Cherry Pop-Tart over there was part of your plan to help, wasn't it?
Yes, she does seem to have a crush on me.
Of course she does. Well, according to Annabella, the farmhouse around here are afraid to come to work because so many of them have gone missing recently. And rumor has it that they have been taken by ghost riders, whatever those are.
Yes, I was told the same thing, but what the others don't know is that the patient they asked me to treat is the only one thus far who has actually seen these creatures and lived to tell the tale.
What? He saw them? You mean there really are such things as ghosts? Or ghost riders?
Well, no, not in the way you might imagine them, but I suspected it would be a creature that gives off that appearance of a ghost.
So, why are we really coming out here then?
Well, that should be obvious. This is the only place that we know of that we can find these creatures, and I want to see one.
Excuse me. You what?
I want to meet one. It's the only way for me to determine what it is what we're dealing with here.
But...
Exciting, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
I guess that's one way to put it. And you really aren't part of the EUP patrol, are you? How did you convince them that you're a member?
It's called psychic paper. It allows me to show them exactly what I want them to see, but only on my better days.
Alright, Doctor. This is the place where Apollo says he was attacked.
Interesting. Have you two noticed anything odd about this location?
I don't understand, Doctor. What do you mean?
I agree with this petite little pony. What are you driving at, Doctor?
Well, can't you smell it in the air? Look around you. No trees, no bushes, just some tumbleweeds and perhaps a stray lizard or two. Maybe 5. But that's it. Not a place in sight where some pony might hide if they were to ambush another pony. We must be missing something, but I can't put my hoof on it.
What about those boulders over there? They look like just as good a place as any for some dirty rascal to hide himself from the unsuspecting pony.
The only problem is that those boulders are too far from the main road to give them the upper hand. A pony would have plenty of time to react if the culprits were to attack from that distance.
What exactly are you implying, Doctor?
Wait, that means Apollo must have known his attacker.
Well, yes, there's that. Or perhaps it was after dark and he couldn't see his attackers. Maybe he had a little too much pony juice at the local bar and he made the whole thing up entirely. Either that or
what, Doctor?
Or it was something else entirely.
Please get to the point, Doctor. You're not making any sense.
And that is why we're here, to see if we can make sense out of this situation. And Clover, what are you looking at?
The sunset. I've never seen a sunset quite like that before. It's magnificent.
Oh, you get used to seeing that around these parts.
Perhaps. But how often do you see a sunset look like that?
Come to think of it, that sunset does look a little different. It's as if it's...
Coming towards us?
Doctor, have you ever seen anything like that before?
No, I can't say that I have, and now that I think about it, now would be a good time to hide behind those boulders and stay out of sight for a while. Just a precaution. Probably nothing to worry about.
What do you mean, probably? Wait, are those hooves I hear? And what is that other sound?
That, my dear little filly, would be the sound the cattle herd charges. But that doesn't make any sense either. There aren't any cattle ranches around here for miles.
Let me take a look. I don't believe this.
What is it, Doctor?
Take a look, Clover, but make sure they don't see you.
Doctor, their hooves aren't touching the ground. How is it possible that we can hear them when their hooves are hovering 5 feet off the ground?
5.5.
Doctor?
Yes. Just give me a moment to get a reading on them. Oh, bugger.
Doctor, do you know what those things are?
Stay still. Don't move. We can't give away our position. Not now.
Doctor, look! There's a cult out there. He looks scared. We have to help him.
I'm on it, Doc.
Buck, no! Come back here!
Now we have to help him, Doctor. We can't leave him to fend for himself out there.
Well, there's no time for subtlety now. Come on.
Doctor, we're not gonna make it in time.
Don't think about that now, Clover. Just keep running.
Oh no, Buck! Doctor, those things scruff the cult and Buck, he's...
Clover, grab Buck. Get yourself out of here. I'll hold them off.
Doctor, I'm not leaving you. There has to be another way.
There's no time to argue. Just don't give me that look, Clover.
Well, maybe if you tried asking me if I had any ideas, I wouldn't. Just because you're clever doesn't mean I can't be too.
I'm sorry, Clover. I was a little busy trying to save your lives.
And now it's my turn to save yours, Doctor. Do you think you can carry him on your back?
For your information, I've been known to carry 3 stallions on my back when the time calls for it.
Well, this time it calls for 1, Doctor. Now bend a little bit more so I can get him on your back. Okay, he's on.
All right, now, run!
Now, who would be visiting at this, Doctor? Clover? Land sakes, Buck? Doctor, what happened to him?
Buck! Doctor, is he?
He is unconscious, but he'll be fine. If you could just help me get him to the couch, though, that would be much appreciated. He's heavier than he looks. There we are.
This is all your fault, Doctor. How could you let this happen? If you hadn't dragged him into all this, none of this would have ever happened.
Doctor, y'all better have a real good explanation for all this.
Hang on a minute. This isn't the Doctor's fault. He did everything he could to protect Buck. But he wouldn't listen, and then the Ghost Riders got him before any of us even had a chance.
That is quite enough, Clover.
But Doctor...
Are you trying to tell me that all those Ghost Rider stories are true?
Well, that is what they would want you to think, but they are certainly not ghosts. No, they are something far much worse. These so-called Ghost Riders are not from this planet, or this universe for that matter.
Not from this planet? Not from this universe? Are you crazy, Doctor? You want us to believe that these Ghost Riders are really some kind of alien or something?
Annabella, it's alright. It may sound like cowpie, but he's telling the truth. I wouldn't have believed it myself if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. But those bug-eyed monsters were like nothing I've ever seen before.
Buck, you're alright!
Well, if you'll excuse me, I need to check on my patient.
I'll be coming with you then, Doctor.
Cherry, I think it's best that you stay here with Buck. Patient confidentiality and all. You understand.
Oh. Yes, of course, Doctor.
Apollo, I hope you remember me. I'm afraid there is no time for pleasantries at this moment. I have something important that I need to ask you.
Of course, Doctor. How could I forget? Is everything alright?
Are the windows shut? And the doors, are they locked?
Well, there wasn't much of a need for it before, but if you think it's necessary.
We can't afford to have any uninvited guests listening in on our conversation. This matter may very well be a matter of life or death, or the planet if our luck is as bad as I suspect it to be.
A matter of life or death? Wait, Doctor, did you just say the planet?
You said when you followed Mara out to Dodge City, he was going out to meet with some pony. Did you happen to get a good look at this pony he was meeting with?
No, I'm afraid I didn't. He took a table at the far end of the bar in a more secluded area, so it was difficult to get a good look at him. I do remember that he looked like he was wearing some kind of a cloak.
I see. Is there anything else you can remember? Hair color, eyes, how many drinks he ordered at the bar, whether he had 6 cloves on his right hoof?
That's not really something you can see when they're wearing a cloak. I'm sorry I can't be much help.
On the contrary, you've given me much more than I had before.
Doctor, Miss Jubilee tells me you have a mind to go after these guys.
Well, the show must go on, and I'm the pony to make sure that no cherries are harmed in the process.
Well, if I can't convince you to stay behind, Doctor, just promise me that you'll be careful. And do me a favor. Give those boys a lesson from me.
Oh, don't worry about that, my friend. They'll get exactly what's coming to them. You have my word on that.
So, Doctor, explain to me again why we came back to Dodge City.
A good lesson in life, Clover, is that sometimes when you're stuck on a problem, the best thing to do is to start back at the beginning and retrace your steps. These incidents all began here in Dodge City. Apollo said that he followed a farmer hoof Morrow here to meet with some mysterious pony. With this in mind, our best bet is that the colt that these so-called ghost riders snatched came here before he was taken as well. Apollo mentioned a shady pony he saw, or rather didn't see, at the bar in town, so I'd say that is as good a place as any to start.
So how do we find this mysterious pony exactly? It's not like you could just look up shady pony in Dodge City's personal ads, you know.
That is precisely why time is of the essence. I suspect that any minute now, our shady friend will be scouting out for his next victim, and I'm fairly certain he'll be doing his hunting from that establishment over there. Here we are. This table should do nicely. We can monitor the door and keep an eye out for our mysterious pony and any pony that could be a potential target. Speaking of mysterious, I think I see our mysterious friend in that corner booth over there.
So what do we do now, Doctor?
Not we, Clover. Me. I will go and confront this mysterious pony while you stay here and hold our place at the table in case things get dodgy.
But Doctor...
Clover, this will be much easier if you stay here and out of the way. If anything happens to me, you run to the TARDIS and wait for me there. Besides, I was going to pick up that chocolate shake I ordered.
I thought this was just business, Doctor.
Chocolate is business, Clover. Never forget that.
But Doctor...
Clover, please, you have to trust me on this.
Alright, Doctor. But don't think for 1 minute that I'm not keeping track of just how much you're going to owe me when this is all over.
Yes, I'm sure. But right now I owe you 8 bits for the chocolate shake.
8 bits?! Hi. That's an outrageous price!
Greetings! I couldn't help noticing that you're sitting here all by yourself in such a lively establishment as this. So I said to myself, this pony could use some company.
I like my privacy.
I would think that no pony would want to be alone in a place like this. Mind if I sit down? No? Good.
If you don't mind, I happen to be waiting for someone, so if you would please...
Well, it seems your friend isn't here yet, so I'd be happy to keep you company until then. I'll tell you what, let's bring a little light on this shady subject, shall we?
What is that thing?
My word, no wonder you like your privacy. You look frightfully pale. In fact, it almost looks as if you're falling apart at the seams. No pun intended. Have you seen a doctor about this condition? Or is that perhaps who you were waiting to see? Then again, I might be just the doctor you're looking for. Let's have a look, shall we? No pulse, no heartbeat, no brain activity. Body temperature is far below normal. I think I know what ails you, my friend. The bad news is that there is no known cure for your condition. It's strictly pony, or rather strictly Gelf condition.
How did you...
Oh, well, I've had a run-in or 3 with your type before.
It seems you have me at a disadvantage.
The doctor. Just call me the doctor.
Yes, Doctor.
Now you're going to tell me exactly what you're up to so that I can stop you. And hopefully before the rodeo begins, because if I miss that, my companion would be very cross with me, and I can't have that.
If you are who you say you are, Doctor, then you certainly don't need me to help you figure it out.
Well, of course I could, but surprise me.
Are you familiar with the events of the Time War, Doctor?
You could say I'm familiar with it, yes.
My world was a casualty of the Great Time War, which pulled my kind into the Time Vortex, scattering many of my kind throughout time and space. A hoofful of us ended up here in this universe and this planet. At first, we were content to claim the bovine of this planet as host. No one seemed to mind when a few cattle were missing, or when they began to act out of character. But we quickly found their lifespan too short, and their intellects substandard. It was then that we began to
began to occupy some of the equine inhabitants of this planet and found them to be a most satisfying host. The equine, however, are far more resilient. They do not expire as quickly as the cattle, and other ponies began to notice the oddities of the equine we chose as our host.
Well, we certainly could not risk our true identities and our true forms being discovered. So we started spreading rumors of the Durandigo, or what the local residents of this area call the Ghost Riders. We concentrated on our ne'er-do-wells, and those of ill repute, and found their numbers to be more than sufficient, particularly in this area, it seems.
So in
In
reality,
reality, Doctor, you could say that we have the potential to reach a peaceful coexistence with the local populations of this planet. We rid the populace of their dread to society, and in return, we acquire hosts so that we may live among them.
So you fancy yourselves as judge, jury, and executioner, do you? Have your kind ever considered the amount of damage your actions could cause? Seeding life on a level 5 planet is strictly against galactic law. This must stop.
And what can you do about it, Doctor? You are one equine, and we are many.
I am the doctor and the ambassador of this planet. You do not want to cross me. But if you let me, I could help you. I could take you to another planet where you and your kind can live in peace.
Really, Doctor? Tempting offer, I must say, but somehow I don't believe you have the ability to do us any harm. I can see it in your eyes, Doctor. Even if you had the ability, you certainly wouldn't use it.
Well, I can tell you the reason you don't believe me and why you haven't heard how dangerous I can be. I have had a run-in with your kind before and they refused to cooperate as well. They didn't live long to warn the rest of their kind of the threat I pose to you and your kind.
I see. Well, you will understand, Doctor, that in light of this new information, I will have to confer with the rest of my kind. This decision will affect more than just me, after all. Though if it were up to me, you would certainly have your answer already.
You have one, I repeat, one chance for a peaceful resolution. If you cross me, you will meet the same end as those who came before you. You have my word on that. I will meet you at dusk where you and your kind took the other farm hooves and all the other marks. I do hate waiting, so don't be late.
Doctor, you look upset. Is everything alright?
Clover, where's my chocolate shake? Never mind. We have preparations to make.
How can you be sure that the Ghost Riders will appear this time?
Oh, I'm quite sure they will. Remember, no matter what happens, stay inside the TARDIS. If this goes the way I hope it does, then there will be no problems. If not... Clover, I need for you to stay focused on this. Any misstep on any of our parts and this planet may very well be in jeopardy. I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry, but you will probably have to miss the Equestria Rodeo Competition. I know you were looking forward to it, but right now...
Never mind the rodeo. Doctor, just promise me you'll be careful.
If I was careful, I probably wouldn't be doing this.
That's not making me feel any better about this. Doctor? I see that strange glow appearing on the horizon. I think they're coming.
Right on schedule. Get into the TARDIS, Clover, and wait for my signal. Well, I almost thought you weren't going to show. I'm happy to see I was wrong.
Yes, Doctor. You've made such a compelling argument on behalf of this planet. We simply do not want an offer like that go unanswered.
And I notice that you're no longer in your corruptible equine state, as you so crudely called it. So, I take it you have an answer for me, then?
Yes. We have decided to take your advice and claim the new planet for our race.
I'm glad we were able to come to an understanding. I have just the thing in mind for you. A bit smaller place than you might be used to, but it has some real potential for your type. I'd be happy to escort you there myself if you'd like.
Yes. I suspect you would. Take him.
What?
Oh, Doctor. Did you really think we would give up this planet so easily with all the wonders it holds for us?
I really hoped you would.
And before you even think of trying any little tricks, Doctor, you may want to look to your left.
Oh, using hostages as blackmail? Now that is low. Not nearly a new one, mind you, but that's besides the point.
Not blackmail, Doctor. Just a little insurance to assure us of your full cooperation. Surrender yourself to us, Doctor, and on my honor, we will release them.
All right. I will surrender. Just please, do not hurt them.
No! Doctor, what are you doing? No, I can't go back. I made a promise to him that I would stay in the TARDIS. I promised.
Oh, don't worry, Doctor. We wouldn't dream of harming them. Now, your weapon, please. And remember, no tricks, or they all will take it.
All right. My weapon's in my front coat pocket. You can check for yourself. Just please, let them go.
Thank you, Doctor. Now that we have you and your weapon, we will release the hostages. into our own custody.
No, you vile, gaseous gluttons. You have just taken them. We had a deal. You swore they'd go free.
Yes, free to roam as well. Oh, but don't worry, Doctor. You'll know soon enough. Your physical makeup shows incredible longevity, and your intelligence is far superior to any animal we've ever seen. With time, we will take over the bodies of every equine on this planet to repopulate our species and proclaim Equestria as our new home.
I warned you, Gelf. I offered you a peaceful solution and you ignored it. What happens next will be your own doing. I cannot and will not allow you to take this planet.
Oh, yes. That reminds me. Once we get your companion out of that blue box, we will watch as we take her. And then, after you watch us take her, your guilt will no doubt consume you. And you will be begging us to take you.
Oh, now you just said the wrong thing. Tortoise!
That's the signal. Oh, I hope the doctor's plan works.
What? What's going on? What have you done?
Well, you see, that blue box, as you call it, is also my ship, and is capable of many things. I have just programmed it to create a very powerful dust devil, and though I did not wish to use it, I have just activated it.
No!
Oh yes, its vortex is strong enough to pull your gases from not only from the bodies that you have inhabited, but it will also rob you of your free roaming forms as well, to ensure that you will not harm another living soul. As I said before, what happens now is by your own doing. If only you had listened. Clover, excellent job.
Doctor? What just happened? Where are the Gilf?
They're gone. They will no longer pose a threat to any pony in Equestria again.
Okay, but what happened to them?
They're gone, Clover. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh. Okay, Doctor. And Doctor?
Hmm?
I'm so glad you're okay. I thought for sure you were done for back there.
Oh, come on, Clover. You should know me better than that by now. It would take more than a few Gelf to get rid of me. Well, we better head back to the Cherrio Ranch estate. Some pony has to let them know that everything is back to normal again.
So, y'all are telling me that the Ghost Riders are real?
I'm afraid they were, but they won't be bothering you again, I can assure you that. Like the Wendigo, that is part of your heart's warming tradition, it's the opposite of that legend.
Well, I declare. But how do you know they won't be back, Doctor?
Let's just say I made them a hot deal they couldn't refuse.
Well, thank goodness the Ghost Riders are gone, but that still isn't going to solve all our problems. We still don't have enough help to get our cherries to the market, and too many of them are too ripe to pick.
Really? Miss Cherry, have you gone out to your orchards lately?
Not since yesterday evening. Why?
Miss Cherry, you're not gonna believe this. All the cherries have been harvested.
What? How is that possible?
I don't know. I wouldn't believe it myself if I hadn't seen it with my own two eyes. But when I went out to the orchard this morning, they were all picked, packed, and ready to go to market.
Doctor? What did you do?
Let's just say I worked a little doctor magic of my own, with a little help of the tortoise, of course. She would never forgive me if I didn't give her part of the credit.
Why, Auntie Cherry, I just don't believe this. All the cherries have been picked and sorted into the appropriate bushels. They've all been labeled as well, and we just have to put a price on them.
Well, that's just showing off.
I don't know how you accomplished all this, but thank you kindly, Doctor.
Still, though, the ratio of cherries we can take to market and the overripe ones are just too high. All these cherries aren't going to last long enough to go to market. What are we going to do with all the rest of them?
It's too bad that the Equestrian Rodeo Competition is over. You probably could have sold the cherries there.
The Equestria Rodeo Competition? Well, that's not for another couple of days.
What? Is that so?
Well, I should know. I am one of the officiators.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Doctor?
You know, I believe my companion and I may have a solution to this problem.
We do?
Yes, we do.
What is it that y'all have in mind then, Doctor?
We are going to put our culinary skills to work. That is what we're going to do. Miss Cherry, can my companion and I use your kitchen and some kitchen staff that can assist us there? And also a bar of chocolate, 2 or 5 on hand.
Well, it's sure sugars and it's cherries on top. But, what do y'all need that for?
Have the farmers gather the bushels of ripened cherries and meet me in the kitchen. I'll show you what we're going to need them for.
Well, I must say, Doctor, this is a rather unusual way to prepare cherries.
I can assure you that you will love it.
Well, I'm all for trying doing different things, y'all, but I've never seen anything like this before in my life.
It might look a little strange at first, but I promise, you'll love it.
Well, down the hatch.
Oh, my sweet cherries above! This is amazing!
I must say, I've never had anything quite like this before.
It's so smooth and creamy, and the cherries add just enough sweetness. It's like nothing I've ever tried before in my life.
What do you all call this delectable treat, Doctor?
I call it Cherry Jubilee.
Oh, why, Doctor, I'm flattered. But not only that, this should take care of all the ripe cherries we have and bring us in a nice little profit as well. Thank you kindly, Doctor. If there's anything I can do for you, you just let me know and it'll be done.
Well, there is one thing. I don't suppose you can get us 2 tickets to the Equestria Rodeo Competition now, can you?
Not only will I get you box seats, but I will get y'all backstage passes to meet the competitors as well.
Really? Oh, thank you, Miss Jubilee!
Well, darling, it's the least I can do for y'all.
Oh, this is going to be awesome! I can't believe that we're here and that I'm going to meet some of the competitors!
Well, the Cherry Jubilees are selling like hotcakes. The competition starts in about 4 to 5 minutes, so be sure and get your goodies and get to your seats before then, alright?
Yes, definitely. Thanks again, Miss Jubilee.
Well, I hope this is everything you had hoped it would be.
Oh, yes, it is, Doctor. It's all that and more. Thank you, thank you, thank you!
You're more than welcome, Clover.
Let's go over there next. Oof. Ouch.
Hey, are you okay?
Sorry, I guess I wasn't watching where it was going and... Hey, you're one of the competitors, aren't you?
That's right, Sugar Cube. This is my second time competing, and I brought my family here for a little support to calm the nerves. This here's my little sister, Apple Bloom.
Howdy, y'all!
And this here's my brother, Big Macintosh.
Yup. I do admire a pony who doesn't mince words. Nope.
And the matriarch of our family, Granny Smith.
Come on, you silly fillies, move your caboose!
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Miss Applejack, and good luck in the competition.
Applejack won't need any luck, because she's gonna win this year. I just know it.
Now, Apple Bloom, don't get my hopes up too high, or you might just break both our little hearts.
Well, I'll be cheering for you, Miss Applejack.
Oh, thank you, Sugar Cube. I might appreciate it. Bye-bye now. Come on, Apples. We better get a move on.
Yup.
She was so nice. I hope she does well.
Well, if anything, she'll have the support of her family. So even if she loses the competition, she'll have gained much more than just a shiny trophy to mount on her wall. And you know what the best part of this whole adventure was?
What was that, Doctor? Being able to help all the ponies in need? Or saving all of Equestria?
No, I got my chocolate-covered cherries.
Oh, Doctor, what am I going to do with you?
Ah, these chocolate-covered cherries are excellent.
Keep eating like that and you're gonna get fat.
What? Me? Never.
Hmm.
Why are you staring at me like that?
Intervention!
What? No! My cherries!
I'll take those.
No, not my chocolate-covered goodness! Rosebud? Wait, how did she get in here? What kind of black magic is this?
You'll get them back later.
Maybe.
Fine.
Anyway, what happened to those listeners you were talking about last time?
Huh? Oh, they're still there.
They are? Is this one of those dimensional thingies again?
Let's just say we broke enough walls when we did this the last time and let it go at that. Speaking of which, why don't we go ahead and do the ending credits so I can get my chocolate-covered cherries back?
Okay, fine.
This has been an equine productions of Doctor Whooves, The Next Regeneration, titled Durandigo. The Doctor was voiced by Maggio. Clover was voiced by Sachishina.
Benefactor, Gelth Prime, and Applejack were voiced by Moy Ra.
Cherry Jubilee and Apple Bloom were voiced by Cliff. Rosebud and Annabella Jubilee were voiced by Cinderwolf.
Morrow and Gelt were voiced by Thundermane. Buck Jubilee and Apollo was voiced by Damien L. Hart. And Store Owner and Granny Smith were voiced by Pidgeimo.
Opening theme was arranged by Lucas Marcondes. Audio directing and editing was by CS Productions.
My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic is copyrighted by Hasbro, and Doctor Who is copyrighted by the BBC.
Oh, by the way, Doctor, before we end this, why don't I show you what I learned at the ranch?
Clover? Clover, what are you doing? Clover, settle down. Ah!
See you next episode!
Oh, no, 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 no!
Ha!